Hello, I'm Malcolm Cox. We're studying the book of Matthew, and today we're in chapter 8, verses 23 to 27. Our title is Rebukes All Round. It reads, "Then he got into the boat, and the disciples followed him. Suddenly, a furious storm came up on the lake, so that the waves swept over the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him, saying, 'Lord, save us, we're going to drown.' He replied, 'You of little faith, why are you so afraid?' Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. The men were amazed and asked, 'What kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obey him.' It might seem strange that such a storm could appear on a lake, but Galilee was accustomed to these sudden storms. It is all the more remarkable, then, that the disciples are as afraid as they are. The tax collectors may be forgiven for panicking, but surely not the experienced and hardened fishermen. Even they are scared. It must have been some storm. The strongest amongst us face times when life is scarier than we expected. Anyway, what is the lesson for us here? Well, perhaps two things. Mark draws our attention to the fact that Jesus is deity. Jewish people were familiar with the prophets of old who could affect the weather, people like Elijah from 1 Kings 17. Elijah the Tishbite from Tishbe in Gilead said to Ahab, 'As the Lord, the God of Israel lives, whom I serve, there will be neither dew nor rain in the next few years except at my word.' And there was no rain until he prayed once again in 1 Kings 18. But authority over the sea, that belonged to God. Psalm 107. He, referring to God, he stilled the storm to a whisper. The waves of the sea were hushed. The disciples see this authority displayed in Matthew chapter 8 and are awed at his power, at the power and what it means. They are beginning to grasp that Jesus is no ordinary or even extraordinary man. He is God in flesh. Not only do we see this made clear, but also the fact that faith is a choice. Jesus is more concerned about their faith than their physical well-being. There are two rebukes here. His followers get the first one before the elements get a second salvo. In Matthew's Gospel, Jesus comments on people's faith 7 times, and he often warns of the danger of little faith. Matthew 6, Matthew 14, chapter 16, and chapter 17. Our faith needs to be bigger than our fears. Do we panic during storms? Are we imagining the worst possible outcome or the best possible outcome? The entire episode here in Matthew 8 seems to be an illustration of true discipleship. When the storms come, and they will, it is faith in the ability of Jesus to save that will be rewarded. And we have good reasons to choose faith over fear. Jesus has saving power over every possible storm. Let us not fear his rebuke, but anticipate his rebuke over that which opposes us. Thus he will bring us to safety as he did the disciples in the boat. Now we'll look at the next part of Matthew 8 in the following recording. But until the next time, I hope you have a wonderful day and God bless.